cracks me up that there are some people who genuinely think that Joe Rogan and Shane Gillis and Senator Hinchcliffe are Nazis. Like, people actually genuinely believe that, which is crazy enough on its own. But what's somehow even less sane is that they think those people who are in control of entertainment are Nazis. And we're watching how they'll react if that's true. They genuinely think that's fucking true. They're just passive-aggressively posting about it on a site that's made exclusively for people who agree with them. These limp-wristed non-warriors are literally making it easier for actual Nazis to take over. They're seeing how all these people react so impotently, which kind of begins to explain why all of the elites are acting a fool in such a brazen way. Welcome to Critical Leaks. I've been watching Mystery Boys. Woo! Critical Leaks, baby! For the absolute bottom of the barrel, folks. Sit, sip, and vastly overanalyzed jokes. We'll do a little comedy commentary here. Occasionally, we're gonna rate and review people's live specials. I'm one of the only people who has an actual live special of Senator Tony Hinchcliffe. Yes, we call him Senator here. We're just practicing for when it becomes reality. Oh, Lord. We got a big show today. Critical Leaks number 33. Welcome! Now, if you haven't seen or heard the other Eekses, this is important. That doesn't matter. Woo, we're having fun. We're gonna have a good ass time today. Yeah, how about my little Nazis rant, right? Now, before we get started, I actually do have an important announcement. Well, it's not so much an announcement, more of an impression. This is my impression of the great artist Bad Bunny. Oi. Thank you so much. If you listen to Bad Bunny, you know that's pretty damn good. Now the show has officially peaked. The rest of the next 2 some odd hours are gonna be swill. You don't get better than a Nazi rant and a damn good impression of the great Bad Bunny. However, if you want to stick around, we're about to do an Eeks featurette, which is a little segment of my beautiful show where I find things that I like on the internet and I just show you little quick things. Those little quick things I think are fun and cool. So this fun and cool Eeks featurette, well, we have to wait for an ad here, but this fun and cool Eeks featurette is taken from an interview with the late, great Frank Zappa, a personal hero of mine. I think you'll find you recognize the other character in this story, as he too is quite a prominent rock and roller, only he's not in this story being reflected how maybe you've heard him reflected before.
Kinds of stuff, but basically it's not rock and roll music.
By the way, this whole interview fucking rules. I strongly suggest you go check it out. I've been on like a rock and roll interview kick recently. Some of the greats. I watched Billy Joel recently interviewed. Really awesome if you like piano and Billy Joel a lot. You're gonna love it. Great interview. We ended up hitting another ad break, but we're back to our for this segment's titular ad break with Frank Zappa.
Rock and roll music.
Can you describe how John Lennon came to perform with you at the Fillmore?
John Lennon, ever heard of him? Got assassinated on my birthday? Coincidence? Yup. But Frank Zappa and John Lennon have some history that I was not personally aware of. By the way, if you're hearing me talk about Frank Zappa and you're like, hurry up and get to Dan Soder. Take a beat, my friend. Take a damn beat. Priorities are fucked.
No problem.
Oh, Lord.
A journalist knocked on my door at a hotel called 1 Fifth Avenue at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the day of that show, and he was waiting there at the door. This man writes for the Village Voice.
So some reporter shows up at Frank Zappa's hotel room at like 2 in the afternoon. The day of a big show.
Waiting there at the door with a tape recorder in his hand, and I just crawled out of bed, my hair sticking out all over the place, and
mine's not. Look at that. I might have just crawled out of the couch, but I had the good decency to put my hair up, sir.
My eyes were
just fucking around. I don't.
twirling like that. 2
You're my hero, man. This is just how I am.
o'clock in the afternoon. It's very early to wake up. Played 2 shows in a night. And he says, "Hi, Frank. I'd like to introduce you to John Lennon." He was, sticking the mic at me like, "Oh."
So this reporter is like, "Oh, I'd like to introduce you to John Lennon." Now, this is weird, but I got to turn up this content. This shit was filmed in like the 80s. 84, actually. Holy shit. So we'll go back a little bit so you can hear that, because it's important that you do.
And he says, "Hi, Frank. I'd like to introduce you to John Lennon."
This reporter comes to his door. Frank just woke up, and he goes, "Hi, Frank. I'd like to introduce you to John Lennon." Now, this reporter is expecting Frank Zappa to get all like, "Oh."
Sticking the mic at me like, "Oh, I'm going to go eek," or something like that.
Eek! Eeks, eeks, eeks.
That's why I said, "Okay, come in." And the first thing he said to me is, "You're not as ugly as I thought you'd be." Which leads me to wonder about...
So John Lennon walks into the room and is like, "You're not as ugly as I thought you'd be." Frank Zappa
about the strength of his glasses, because...
is now curious about the strength of John Lennon's glasses.
I'm as ugly as I ever was. I'm just as ugly now as I was then. And it's a great credit to Mr. Lennon that he wasn't shocked by all of this.
It's uncanny. This dude looks just like my good friend Valador. Well, good friend. We're super close. I don't know how good of a friend he is.
So he came in, and we talked for a few minutes, and I asked him whether he wanted to play with us at the concert at the Fillmore East that night, and he did. And we
By the way, if you hang out on Twitch, go check out Delphic_Valador. He does like game streams and stuff, but he's also got like a cool band. He's a very, 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 very talented musician, and one of the weirdest guitarists I've ever gotten to know. And I've known some weirdos. In this case, I'm speaking stylistically. The way he plays guitar is pretty weird. Also, he's a really weird guy, though, so I guess never mind.
And have a recording truck there, because we were recording...
Send this clip to him.
...the shows for another purpose, and the tapes were made. Now, here's the bad part.
Okay, so he asks John Lennon, "Hey, man, we got a show tonight. You want to come jam?" John Lennon's like, "All right, mate." So they go. They go play their show, and there's a recording of it. And everything went well. But here's the bad part.
Those for another purpose, and the tapes were made. Now here's the bad part. During the performance, when Lennon was on stage with Yoko, we played one of my...
Yoko Ono. Ever heard of her?
...songs called...
Everyone's favorite chick.
King Kong.
So, sorry, go back.
On stage with Yoko. We played one of my songs called King Kong. And the deal that was made, according to the usage of the tapes, was he got to use the tapes for his purpose, I got to use the tapes for my purpose. He released part of that performance on an album called Sometime in New York, and changed the name of the song King Kong to Jam Rag, and gave himself and Yoko writing and publishing credit on...
Oh, holy shit! That's huge! John Lennon is a hack and a thief? Holy shit! I don't know, I had to show you guys that. Now, we're gonna jump to one more time code here, because this is a featurette, and we don't get super into them. I mean, we're into them, but we don't, you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna go to 1814. Try to keep it nice and clean. 1811 is fine. Okay. Now, another ad. You deserve it. Live and loud. Go give him a subscription. Go watch this whole interview. It's a fascinating interview. It's a piece of rock and roll history. But also, he makes a pretty interesting point here. And as you know, I'm a bit of a yester punk. So selling out is very much still a part of my vernacular. And it's on my mind often, especially covering some of the gentlemen and some of the material that we cover. These shameless cash grab specials and the like.
Is not
looking at you, Hassan.
Writing a piece of music.
Ahmad, to be clear, not Hassan.
Do you think that people
who might be in big trouble? I don't know. I haven't been following that whole story. I had to change up what I do online. So I was getting bored. It was getting stagnant. You know, I still try to listen to every podcast. I still listen to them all. I have started to save them and bank them for the show because it's like fucking save it for the podcast. I can't keep letting this just affect me.
Who are entering the music business today are more concerned about being. Do you think that people who are entering
the interviewer clearly is asking Frank, do you think that people getting into the music industry today
are more concerned about being rock and roll stars than musicians? Do you think that's part of the problem?
That's not part of the problem. That's the way the world really is. There's very few people who ever went into pop music who did it because they went into it as an art form.
I wonder if the same could be said about pop comedy. Quite interesting. Now, the answer is yes. There are dudes at the top of their game who still take it very seriously as an art form. Still, pretty pertinent. It's actually very interesting because I kind of made this point yesterday. My fiance was showing me some Instagram shorts or reels or whatever the hell you guys have over there. Your cool kid Facebook. And I had the thought, because I'm watching all these musicians, these Zoomers, just fucking wailing, dude. And that was so few and far between in millennials, but millennials all kind of had, like, aura, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think it's entirely our fault that that's how we were kind of raised. We were raised by people who saw the, like, glory of rock and roll. And so a lot of us had this, like, aspiration to, like, be one of those guys. But inherently, that notion kind of betrays everything we thought we said we were about, right? Where it's like, oh, yeah, I'm just playing to play, but also, like, can you imagine what it would be like to be famous? It's like, these Zoomers, by contrast, perhaps it's because they had that 5-year gap of no social life. Maybe it's because nobody drinks anymore. I don't know. But they care a lot less about, like, having their set lists down and playing their band and trying to get blah, 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 and they're just, like, fucking shredding. They're just chopping, working out all day on their instrument so they can put it up online. When they are, because of that, on average, vastly more technically proficient than your given millennial. So I think what Frank's talking about right here is like, no, it's just kind of the nature of things. I think for all the bad that pandemia did to the entertainment industry, to the world, but to specifically musicians and the entertainment industry, maybe that is some good that came of it. They watched that whole hollow, shallow world come crashing down around them and were like, I just like guitar. All these fucking drunk-ass millennials are all like, hey, man, you want to take some drugs? That's what rock and roll is about. And they're like, I prefer to play music. So, teach their own, you nerds. Anyway, Frank Zappa. Fantastic speaker, amazing composer, truly. To call him an amazing composer is to risk falling so vastly short of capturing his wonder, I guess. It's true, I just realized I was being a little florid. Anyway, we're moving on, back to the humble realm of comedy. There's a little section I call Bric-a-Brac. bric-a-brac. Bric-a-brac's just a little clip here and there, random shit. I don't have to like it like a featurette. It's just, sometimes I have a question. Sometimes I'm watching Mystery Boys, and they cut to their producers, and one of their weird little Spanito producers says this weird lie. Like a verifiable weird lie. Let's get into it.
You say Alex for normies. It's
Guys,
like,
you got any theories? Let's ask the sound booth.
I think
So they're talking whatever crazy shit. The segment in the time codes is Palantir Party, and I don't think they're talking about Tolkien.
he microdosed some shrooms and maybe took some Adderall.
Oh, they're trying to guess like what this person, one of these tech oligarch guys, is doing some like speech or some interview, and he's like, you think I'm high energy, bro? This dude was losing his shit. And so they're all postulating, trying to figure out, hey, what do you think this dude was on?
Roll.
okay.
Okay, maybe.
Shrooms, Adderall.
Possibly.
What else?
Shrooms and Adderall. If you don't know, don't answer, right? Shrooms and Adderall, that was what you thought this is? It's not.
What we got?
I mean, I'd also say.
I mean, not if it was involuntary. If it was like something you were doing, you know, like if it was like a bit or you were making people laugh or something, maybe. I don't know what you think mushrooms, but we're looking at 3 fresh-faced baby-ass Zoomers behind this booth. We got a kind of a tub thumper back here. He looks pretty cool though. He's got a mustache. I like him. Sitting between him and this like sort of scared and confused looking 20-year-old young woman, there's this guy who I really can't help it. This kid, this young adult male, who I really can't help but just like hone in on because he's the worst kind of liar. And we all knew this guy, right? We all have known this person who will tell you something and you go, okay, Jerry, sure, yeah, you sure did. Oh, you got an ace, but no one was here to watch it hit the chains. Damn, that's classic Jerry. You know, I shouldn't have used Jerry. It's Parks and Rec and then Rick and Morty. But you get what I'm saying.
A mixture of like amphetamine salts, maybe did a little line as well.
You think
You fucking Zoomers don't know what the hell you're talking about. Cocaine, like, you think he would need to be doing it on stage. James Brown's Blanket, right? This, like, tech guy gets on and is like, watch me now! Anyway. So she guesses that it's, I don't know, maybe some amphetamine salts, which makes her seem like she knows what she's talking about, but that's just what it says on a given Adderall bottle. And then she guesses maybe did a line. Boy, you sure do party. You sure are rock and roll.
like Adderall and cocaine?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Adderall right now, and I'm not like that.
Yeah, I'm.
I bet you thought that was so much cooler. Everyone's now going like, okay, it's a prescribed medication. It's weird that that's like the only one that people brag about. And don't get me wrong, I get it. This shit makes you feel like you want to brag. But it's insane to just be like, I'm on it right now, and I'm not acting like that. Yes, I have been that person before. Seeing her do it makes me realize that was foolish of me. So thank you, little girl.
I mean,
Okay, but let me ask you this: if it's not too much information, what's your dosage?
I'm on 25 milligrams extended release.
This is, to be fair, Duncan Trussell and Kurt Metzger, so I guess they're not too weirded out.
That
He goes, how much?
is not
So how much are you on?
a small dose.
No, it's not.
kind of small.
A small dose.
Imagine you are.
I like Duncan Trussell, but I am going to do a very mean impression of his voice. I'm sure I can already tell.
on 50.
That's a small dose.
Okay, imagine 50
thank you.
milligrams.
Yo, the other
Imagine 15 milligrams.
dude
was
was
on
on
80.
80 milligrams as a child on XRs. On
80 milligrams of XRs. Oh, it's So it's interesting because I'm paused at a place right now. This makes me look forward to when we have a screen so I can show you all my zooms. But right now, Liar is looking over at little girl, and he kind of has like a, oh shit, like he's giving her like a what you don't believe me face, but also probably knows that she's more aware of this than he is. And we'll go on.
You were on 80
Yes.
fucking milligrams?
And I know, dude, I know that's the truth because a good friend of mine, when he was a kid, they put him on that much.
No, they didn't. Here's the thing. Rampant ADHD kid, who's, by the way, maybe not Metzger, definitely not Metzger, by 1,000 years not Metzger, but in probably 15 years this kid's senior is the Liar. I've been calling him Spanito for like little Spanish dude. I guess I liked that. But there was no, so when I was a kid, the maximum you could get was 230 XRs a day. It's a total of 60 milligrams. You couldn't get any instants after that. That was the truth, 20 years ago, right? More than that, 25 years ago. That was the truth a long time ago. You could only get that much. Now, this little 20-year-old liar goes,
Yeah, I was taking 240s a day.
no, you fucking weren't, you little lying bitch. Fuck this guy. No, you were not. That's stolen valor, dog. Because I was 13 on 60. You can't, I declare stolen valor. No, you were not on 80 a day. That's literally illegal. It's just one of your friends in middle school said 30, and you were like, I'm on 40, dog. Hey, I'm on 40 now, man. Like, you can't be on, 220s? He's like, no, 240s. I am. Ask my mom. Like, we all know this fucking dude. We all, like, as remember being kids, and there was that lying kid. And, like, this is that lying kid. He's just, what are you...
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being a little...
Yeah, we take 240s a day. He just keeps repeating his fucking lie. Now, I don't think he meant for this to come up on air. I think he had Kurt going, as Kurt is wont to do. I think he had Kurt Metzger all riled up. What? They're giving you what, man? And he's like, yeah, man, 240 milligrams. He's like, they're turning our kids into zombies. It's like, I know, I was a zombie. It's like it seems to me that with these conspiracy folks, which, by the way, fascinating stuff, but with these conspiracy folks, they have to kind of adopt some strange bedfellows. Because they get a lot of, like, you're crazy, shut up, we don't want you here, I don't want to hear you talk about this. And the thing that they love, the thing they're most passionate about, the world being out to get us all. And maybe it is. But the thing that they're most passionate about is taboo as fuck. They're kind of kicked off of the cool kids table. Even among the comedians, Kurt's known as a loon. Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know. I think two things can be true at the same time. They could all be out to get us, and Kurt could also be crazy all at once. But I think he got Kurt all riled up. Oh, these conspiracy dudes have to sort of adopt these strange bedfellows. The Sam Tripoli's have his weird producer. What was his name? Johnny. Let's call him Janny. I like Janny. Janny. It's kind of weird and not really good at producing. It seemed like in the 30 seconds I watched it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just they're the weird kids, and so they have to hang out with other weird kids, even if they aren't weird in the same way. Anyway, that's Mystery Boys. Mystery Boys. Pretty cool podcast. Duncan Trussell and Kurt. It's interesting. I don't have the metaphor down yet, but something to do with the mouthpiece of a trumpet and a mute being sort of pivotal to play certain classic jazz songs. I told you it wasn't done. I told you I'm not done with it yet, alright? Soder on Harlan. So guess what we're watching next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Harlan Highway Podcast. I guess he was not interested in being interviewed by the person who is going to interview me about my Sam Hyde video. By the way, if you're the new guy, welcome. New guy gets in the fucking comments of the Sam Hyde video and he goes, "You're hostile towards your commenters. I like that. Subbed." It's like, is it back something hostile?
Yeah. So when they,
Anyway, welcome.
You know-
I didn't mean to get so hostile. I just am a little bit of a bitch.
when the
Not like Sam Tripoli's a bitch. I'm just kind of a bitch.
zombies come,
Yeah.
it'll be easy to kill the politicians that are zombies.
I wonder if
I
politics.
love that he's talking about zombies. Dan is talking to the only person that doesn't make him feel as fucking old as he is. Dan is like 6 years older than me or something. I just find him abysmally boring. I think that Alan got into his brain. I think that Alan doesn't like when his comedians who are going to make him famous by proxy. I think that Alan doesn't like his comedians who are going to make him famous by proxy to be drinking. Because that, you see, makes an artist sort of unpredictable. But isn't that what we love about stand-up comedians? The unpredictability. That feeling of like, oh, they're going to go right up to the edge and then not offend anybody. Right? Isn't that kind of their whole shtick? Wouldn't you consider Alan's method of turning comedians into boring zombie shills sort of antithetical to the art of comedy? What do I know?
Taste worse.
Yeah, we'll
Like
know
that
that.
spoiled meat.
Go, were you
Yeah.
were you a comptroller?
Yeah.
He's like, "Arr," as you're.
Little compliment cake, I guess. It's not a sandwich. It's just me being mean, and now I'm going to say something nice. Compliment cake. He's really good at voices. Really good. His voices are very, very funny. I enjoy it every time. He's got his character, Prospector Gomez, that he does on the regs, which is very, very funny. He does a great Andre the Giant. That kind of a thing. He's great. He's great with voices. That I really like about Dan. I wish Dan maybe had focused heavier on his voice acting and like being into cartoons than like being a New York podcast comedian. 'Cause like I like people who focus on voice acting and the art behind animation and cartoons, and I kind of find that I don't really like a lot of these dudes. Louis J. Gomez aside. And frankly, Joe List, who won me over in a weird way that I was not expecting. But Dan, I kind of did the opposite. Sometimes that happens here on Eeks. Sometimes I start off liking a dude and I get to know him more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And sometimes I hate a dude and I listen to him and I start to like him more and 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 more. Sometimes they're James Donald Forbes McCann, where I didn't really have feelings about him and I kind of didn't like him, and now he's just is not changed. Whatever, he's doing great. He's killing it, becoming very famous. Everyone knows his name. And I genuinely am happy for the little fella. Not gonna start talking about James Donald Forbes McCann. Or Stavros, who I also hate.
As you're eating it,
Yeah.
you're like, what did you do? City council?
We've got plenty of Stavros coverage. If you're curious, go back a few episodes and you'll get about 6 hours you can go off of.
Yeah.
Is that
a hint of mayor I detect?
Oh, you took donations from APAC.
Oh, God, this congressman is ripe.
The meat.
I really like Harlan. I think Harlan is one of the keep it realist ass comedians. He never turns off the bit in the face of, millions and millions and millions of people listening, in the face of the aggression of Sam Hyde. That was one of the original, controversies that made me like the guy more. As, I think that was probably the first one where I'm like, you're all wrong about this. I like both of these guys more. Because Harlan, who's in his 60s, is being, manhandled by what has been theorized as a pretty drunken Sam Hyde. To be clear, not your average Sam. And he's, kind of going, what did they call it, gorilla bonkers or something like that? Very Harlan phrasing. But Harlan held his shit. He was very cool, calm, and collected. And I really have a lot of respect for that. He also destroyed David Lucas, who has never really recovered, and that's not my original opinion. That's just kind of true.
The meat's all stringy.
But then you came to L.A. and you hate L.A.
I don't.
Remember? Soder used to, well, not really, but I used to hate it, so much, because people used to tell me, you have to go to L.A., but, look at me now. We're sitting in my living room talking to a guy named Johnny Pemberton, who's way more famous than me. It's like, yeah, well, you know what he did, Dan? He went to L.A. He went to L.A., buddy. So I get being a contrarian and feeling a little obstinate and not wanting to do the thing that everyone who loves you is telling you should do. I get that entirely. But also, it feels a little weird that you're kind of clinging to this. But ever since he sort of eased off on it, because, they're comedians, so that it's always yes and. Yes, and will you have me on your podcast? Yes, and can I plug my show?
I don't like LA.
What? Talk to me, guy.
Just,
what is it you hate about, the rage and the anger in your eyes? It's just
By the way, Dan does have rage and anger issues. Another thing I can respect. But every time people bring up his temper, and I think this is probably a Dr. Allen Leibowitz, I don't remember. The Dr. Allen technique is when someone accuses him of being angry, he bursts into laughter. Angry? I'm not angry. Okay, Dan, not angry. Please don't let your head fall in one direction too far, because God knows we'll, comparable to the Juggernaut, we're not going to be able to stop you.
No, actually.
I also have a 60-centimeter diameter? No. Circumference? Not great at geometry, but I do have a big-ass head.
You know what's funny is I was so... I used to be really anti-LA. Now I kind of enjoy coming here for, Netflix is a Joke Festival.
I used to fucking hate it. Now I'm like, whatever.
It's been fun.
Right, but you still hate it.
Get him, Harlan.
I don't like doing it because I like my life in New York.
What do you hate about LA?
I mean, this gets thrown around so much. And I think that even, shout out Apologia Commodea, I think he even referred to Harlan this way. I'll give him credit. On principle, I really like Apologia Commodea's coverage. Everyone had a bit of a slip-up with this Tom Segura nonsense. We got some Bert Kreischer stuff, but they're moving on. Especially the good rant is largely moved on from all that nonsense. Same bullshit. And Apologia Commodea. They're the next greats. Now, does greatness inherently degrade the integrity of these comedy commentators? Maybe. Maybe. So never fear, I'll have integrity forever. Kidding! I don't have it now. So.
Hey, though.
The traffic, everything is 40 minutes to get anywhere.
But there's got to be something deeper than just this.
That is crazy. a motherfucker from New York is going, the traffic in LA is nuts. You can't drive in New York. Dan, do you have a car? The answer is no, Dan, because you don't drive because you live in fucking New York.
The top stuff.
tell you what
There's
it
got to
The
be.
place is exhausting to think about. Like, I went there, I think I've told this story. I was working out in the Hamptons. I'd been camping all week at a golf tournament. It was, I think, the Open. Whatever, Google it. Whatever took place in the Hamptons, like, years ago. Maybe 10, 9, 8 years ago. I'm camping there. And one of the people I'm working with, cool chick, friend of mine, by the name of Val, was like, yo, I used to live in New York. Like, you want to go? I can kind of show you around. I got 8 blocks. I almost fought a guy. And I got 8 blocks. And I literally was like, Val, dude, I'm throwing him. I gotta get the fuck out of this. That's crazy. It drains you constantly. The second you get there, it's just smells and noise, and everyone's like, don't get me wrong. I understand why people are proud to live there. I get what it does for our world culturally. I'm talking about my personal experience in the absolute overstacked human landfill. It's awful there. I don't care how good the art is. It's insufferable. So for a guy from New York to be like, LA is just like, it's really busy here. It's like, well, at least there's outside. At least they have an outdoors.
Be a psychological, spiritual element to all this.
I'll tell you what
Traffic is too easy.
Traffic's too easy. And it also doesn't make any sense coming from a man who doesn't own a car due to, guess what? Traffic.
I moved to New York City, right? Loved it. Loved.
That's also, I think, a flex. As I was saying before, on one side of this coin, I understand why you're proud to live in New York. Truly, I do. And then on the other side, I see all these people who are like, I just love it. Let me stop. I really, really need to reiterate that I loved it the second I got here. I never stopped loving it. I never went home, not even for a moment. And I love it here. And I'm a New Yorker. I don't even like to say that I'm a New Yorker, and I've been here for 14 years, okay? This sucks.
Love living in New York.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I moved to New York City,
I don't know.
right? Loved it.
Right away?
Love living in New York.
Oh, we just love living in New York.
I love everything about it.
Wow, you must have the spirit of an artist.
I do understand people that don't like it because it's a lot,
Yeah.
but I like having it.
It is categorically too much. It's not a lot.
Everything at your fingertips. I like being close to everything. I like the history. When I started doing when I moved to New York and was doing stand-up, everyone kept being like, you have to move to LA. You have to move to LA. And I was like, I don't want to move to LA. I like living here.
It's so childish that you're still holding on to this, Dan. That's embarrassing. Stop telling people that, dude. Jesus Christ. That's... I feel like Alan's got you all weirded out. This is crazy. Stop telling people that, dude. Oh, I just hate it because everyone told me when I was a 19-year-old that I had to go to L.A. and I resent it from that point on. I was like, no. Thanks for having me as a guest on the Harlan Highway podcast.
And they're like, no.
We should rack up a tight 140K.
You have to move to
Which is a shit ton, don't get me wrong. But I mean, like, Johnny Pemberton is leaving a wake of 350K in his wake, Dan.
And then even people I knew were going, well, you're going to move to LA.
Yeah.
You're going to get a pilot and you're going to move to LA and you're going to be fucking blah.
They were trying to be nice to you, you big oaf.
And I kept, they
were telling me, oh, you're going to be famous and someday you're going to have to move to LA because that's where the studios are. And Dan's like, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything you tell me. And now that you've said it, I'm not gonna. Now that you've said it, I refuse. And in my 40s, I'll still be talking about this.
That's where you see the rage go like, I'm not going to LA.
When you get mad, you look like a little dog. For a guy who's huge, probably, you look like a little dog when you get all mad, dude.
Look at that.
But you know what?
Yep.
I can't even. Hold on. I mean, I can do it with my eyes. I have to just. He went. No, even that, I look too mean and scary. So I put these things on. It's to protect you guys. Now I'm like Cyclops in a lot of ways.
You're like the white OJ to me.
Like the guy who was in the jury duty. I'm that Cyclops.
Like, you look ready to kill.
Me and my fiance do love to go out to dinner.
He almost said wife. That was close. Now, do you think that's because you guys are so engaged that, like, you just think of her like your wife? Or do you think that because in some situations you throw it in because you know people won't ask, and if they do ask, you can kind of skirt out of it and sort of make a joke about it? Do you think that in casual conversation you call her your wife so that other people think you're more normal, Dan? Me either.
If she leaves her sunglasses, this podcast is gonna age terribly.
Or it's gonna be my best rated.
The look back, you're gonna have to do like a whole documentary series. Look back at this episode, and you go, "I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming."
Yeah, I can see it.
No, wait, man. I can't hurt a fly.
Never believe that. I was gonna say never trust anyone who you hear say that. Now, I like that's pretty sound sentiment, if you ask me. But that's a crazy thing to say that crazy people say to seem not crazy. I could never hurt a fly. Well, you definitely could do that. What are you overcompensating for? If you have to say out loud, I'm not violent, you're scary. The default should be that you're not into violence, Dan. Oh, you know me, I couldn't hurt a fly. You weren't talking about violence, you were talking about being angry. The scary part is that you equated speaking about your rage to doing violent things and reassuring everyone around you that they don't need to be afraid of you. An inherently spooky act. You're just like, I'm not gonna blow up right now. Because I'm chill. Thanks, Alan. Anyway, Dan Soder. Okay. I gotta refill my tea and I'm gonna play some music. I'm gonna have some music playing for you when I'm gone. Not that music, that's too spooky. Because with Dan's temper, it might be thematically, what do you call it, motivic. Now, I don't know if what we do next is gonna be funny. So if you don't want to hang out, still, or again, or for the first time, I don't blame you. For those of you who do hang out, shout out, I appreciate you. It's gonna get a little weird. Be right back, motherfucker. Soder for today. I think with these New York guys, bric-a-brac is probably the best way to deal with them because they can be all charged up. Don't worry, I wouldn't hurt a flea. It's smaller than a fly. But they make me want to kill a flea, bro. It just seemed like the funny thing to say. I'm harmless. I'm not violent. Oh, that cracks me up. Dan, bro, get a different guy. Anyway, so here's my question. And this is one of our main courses today, so we're gonna really jump on into this. Now I think he's done like crypto stuff, and I know that he's sort of like a, what do they call him, a glazer? He's sort of a glazer of billionaires and the oligarchs, the people who Kurt Metzger has a lot to say about. But then you keep looking these things up and they keep being right, so I don't know. But anyway, you shouldn't ever fall asleep listening to Mystery Boys. You wake up feeling weird. Anyway, so I know he's always kissing booty on these rich people who we all hate, right? Don't worry, guys. Me too. But other than being a massive and apparent, just blatantly evident dork, why, please, literally tell me in the comments, why do we hate Lex Friedman? I just don't know. I don't know anything about the guy. So I don't know, like, if there's a good reason, if it's not just the fact that he's a friggin' cronge weasel. Like, his name's Joe Rogan. He's got very strong shoulders, or whatever it was. I should learn that one. There's a fucking cover for you. I don't know. Let me know in the comments why we hate him. I'm down to hate as much as the next guy. I just gotta know why. So what we're gonna do is examine some of the things that he does that are, in his own dorkish as fuck sort of way, kind of cute. He's kind of cute. So we're going to 904 in this interview that he did with everyone's other favorite guy, Mark Zuckerberg. Right? Is that the music I should be playing? Because I all hate these dudes. Mark Zuckerberg. And boy, they're aware of it. I think at one point Lex even says, like, oh, the meme is going to be that the two least feeling men are sharing their feelings together. But, like, it's true. The comments go off. We'll get into them down there in a bit here, but so his first time code, what do we have here? Oh, yeah, well, very pertinent.
We're going to need to figure out, it's like, to what extent do you want to give people control over that?
We're talking about facial features and like reactions, emotional reactions. So what they're doing is, this is the first interview in the metaverse. This is from like 2 years ago. So they were like unraveling this technology, which by the way has already crashed and burned. I watched a Burbank about it. Already crashed and burned. Metaverse was bad. But this makes it look, I use this word a little too much, but hysterical, Louis. It's genuinely hilarious. It's so photorealistic, as they keep saying, that it breaches the uncanny valley, as Lex Friedman says. It goes literally past what gives you the creeps. Now, they sent him a bunch of tech, and he had to, like, scan his face for 4 hours or some shit. They talk about it. And here's the thing. I don't howl with laughter very often, unless I'm watching Critical Weeks, shout out. I don't howl with laughter often at all. Excuse me, but watching this, and I mean, you need to treat yourself and go watch this. It is the funniest thing I've seen all year. And it's funny because I'm not, like, they're aware of the fact that it's silly and that they're kind of, like, the funniest guys to be doing this because they already look like robo people. And Kurt Metzger, I'm just kidding, I don't want to misrepresent his craziness. Or lucidity. Maybe I'm too crazy to tell. Oh, I hurt my toenails so bad just a second ago. Oh, that sucked. Woo! Woo! Okay, show must go on. Let's have some Mio about it. I'm going to play some relaxing chords. It's fine. You know what, guys? I think it's fine. So, they're in the metaverse. They have, like, VR headset things on. Apparently, have some Mio, by the way, my friends. Apparently, they could have... Ooh, Black Cherry, that's a classic. Apparently, they could have done some kind of cool scenery, like had them on a beach or something, but Lex Fridman was like, I feel like it would be more conducive to my listeners if I'm in pitch black. So they're just two floating, ultra hyper-realistic floating heads in this space. And okay, if this is facing at you, they're both facing like this, kind of like vaguely towards each other. Now, I have a clip saved that I'll probably put right here. Isn't it hilarious that in that fucking clip, just the bewilderment in his eyes. I just had to show you that clip. Okay, that was for the shorts. I'm sorry. I'm trying to build the channel. Everyone keeps telling me to do shorts. Especially the AI art scammer people who fucking got me. Alright, I've been streaming for 2 or 3 people for years now. I don't mean to brag. But they have changed the script. I feel so foolish. They changed the script on that fucking... So it used to be... Hi there, I really like your stream. And I go, oh, thank you so much. That's so cool of you to say. They go, oh, where are you from is what they used to do. And that was what would trigger me into being like, oh, you're one of these, like, art spammer people who I've checked out the stuff. It's sometimes the same, exact same thing. So it's scam of some kind. I just don't really know how they scam people. But I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. And so the last episode, that Alexa robot came in. I should have known Alexa. Fuck. This AI called Alexa, there's probably actually just a person, but comes in and they didn't ask where are you from. So it felt to me like genuine interaction. And I'm sitting here going, oh, I'm doing it. Oh, I'm like Osmongold, man. I'm like Jules David reading the chat and shit. Another personal hero. That wasn't an intentional miss of a note. I just didn't hit it. Anyway. Don't know what I was just talking about. We're going to move on. My toe feels better. Thank you for wondering.
Yeah, some people might try to...
Chipotle honey chicken is...
If one motherfucker says get YouTube Premium, I might literally just go start a Patreon that's like, do you want no other people's ads on my show? Because I'm never, ever in a billion years going to let YouTube bully me into getting YouTube Premium. I love YouTube. I watch it all the time, but I just... Them being more and more aggressive with their ad placement and their ad length, and like, it's like, dude, guys, please stop. Because me wanting to have a YouTube channel, completely aside, me as a YouTube user is like, something else is gonna pop up. everyone's gonna fuck off there, and they're gonna do the Netflix thing. They'll boast about how there's no ads, or you get premium for free, or what. They're gonna do something that's like different than what we're seeing now, and there's gonna be a big influx of people that go over there. I think, you know, I mean, it happened with TikTok. Shorts have kind of, that's like why shorts exist. I made a joke about it. It was like shorts were sort of YouTube having a midlife crisis, where it's like, I'm still hip, I'm still cool. Anyway, billionaires, ladies and gentlemen.
You know,
a billionaire and a want to be.
Might prefer a version of themselves that's more emotive in their avatar than their actual face.
We have to go back. So,
what extent do you want to give people control over that?
So what extent do we want to give people control over their facial features and how exaggerated they all look?
You know, some people might try to, you know, might prefer a version of themselves that's more emotive in their avatar than their actual face is. You know, so for example, you know, I always get a lot of critique and shit for...
Lex is blinking so much. Sorry. Mark Zuckerberg gets a lot of critique.
You know, so for example, you know, I always get a lot of critique and shit for having like a relatively stiff expression.
That's not how they phrase it, Marky. They call you a lot of things, but I don't think I've ever heard stiff and emotionless. Maybe. Emotionless for sure. But I think just because they needed a synonym, because they'd called you everything else.
But, you know, I mean, I might...
Good on him, though. I will say, good on this billionaire for, like, understanding the internet and the fact that a lot of these people are fucking with you and joking better than some of these people who fuck with and joke with people professionally. Good on Zuckerberg for being like, yeah, I get a lot of shit for this. I kind of get it. It's a good way to be.
I might feel pretty happy, but just make a pretty small smile. So, I mean, maybe...
Some jokes, they make themselves. Good God, man.
Yeah, for me, I would...
One more time.
I might feel pretty happy, but just make a pretty small smile. So...
I think that alone might be diagnosable. That's just hilarious to me. I mean, this guy has all of my information, right? This dude knows more about me than I know about me, but also, like, God damn it, you had to know I was going to think that's funny, right?
I mean, maybe, you know, for me, I would...
Algorithmically speaking, it probably would have...
It's actually, you know, it's like I'd want to have my avatar really be able to better express, like, how I'm feeling.
What they're talking about is how people will be able to manipulate their, you know, their emotion, you know, their emotive responses to things. So when they smile, if they maybe have big happy but small smile, then well, then they can have big smile with their big happy in the metaverse, and that's appealing to some people. And then eventually they work their way around to, honestly, it's great for me. Like, I have to hear him say that one more time.
Expression. But, you know, I mean, I might feel pretty happy, but just make a pretty small smile. So, I mean...
Oh, that's adorable. There's your angle, billionaires. Just start being cute. Stop trying to be cool. And just be fucking adorable. Oh my God. They might feel big happy, but have small smile.
And maybe...
Why are you talking like a cave puppy?
For me, I would it's actually...
I'm telling you, this is like the funniest fucking video you're gonna watch. It's the best kind because you can't help but punch up at either of these gentlemen. One of them is the Facebook guy, and the other one is Lex Fridman, who's sitting on 5 million subscribers, the famous industry plant. That's another thing I know people tend to dislike about him, is they accuse him of being an industry plant. Pretty damning. I don't like that either. I don't like it. I just want to understand the vitriol.
You know, it's like I'd want to have my avatar really be able to better express like how I'm feeling than what.
P.S. It is right now. So as he's saying this, there's a 3-panel breakup on screen. One of them is Zuckerberg's shiny avatar. He gave it a golden glow. And then in the middle, there is like the unrendered, like, code version of it. Where it's like not realistic colors. It just kind of shows the like vague like infrared shading maybe. And like the folds of his collar and his shirt, which by the way you can't see because he's in a black shirt and a black fucking abyss. Redundant. And then on the far side you've got Mark, who's got his glasses on, and he's like, who's got the meta glasses, and Mark in real life is going, and then the avatar Mark is going, and it's only slight. I don't think he wanted to make it too much, but it's very clear. It is incredibly clear that he punched up his smile so that when he feels big happy, he has big smile.
Than how I could do physically. So I think that there's a question about how you want to tune that, but overall, yeah, I mean, we want to start from the baseline of capturing how people actually emote and express themselves, and I mean, I think the initial version of this has been pretty impressive, and like you said, I do think we're kind of beyond the uncanny valley here.
Okay, so we said it earlier. Glad I brought it up. But it is true. It's weird. It doesn't give you like the like AI person feel. This was 2 years ago. It doesn't give you that uncanny valley. And don't fucking get me started on the uncanny valley because I find it fascinating. I think I have a theory as to why. I've collected a bunch of different people's theories and created a what do you call them? Homunculus of well, shit.
Where it does feel like you. It doesn't feel weird or anything like that.
It makes you feel like you're on drugs a little. Kind of makes you feel like you were trying to microdose, but your tolerance was lower than you thought, and so things are a little funkier than you planned for. You're like, yeah, this is normal. It's like, by the way, if you're an aspiring psychonaut, I advise that you start wearing sunglasses all the time so that it's not weird when you need them. People are just like, that's Jippo, man. He wears his shades.
I mean, that's going to be the meme that the two most monotone people are in a metaverse.
There it is.
I mean, that's going to be the meme that the two most monotone people are in a metaverse together. But I think that actually makes it...
Self-awareness. I love it. And maybe it's not something that I love, like, on principle. Good God. Maybe it's not something that I love just on principle. Maybe I'm just so fucking sick of the disingenuity of these don't read the comments comedian guys. Like, I get as an artist, you kind of have to protect yourself because by nature, you know, a sensitive breed. But, like, isn't that kind of the sacrifice? You know, Creed style. I don't know. I think that's why hearing Lex Fridman go like, well, the meme is going to be how the two most unemotional people are meeting in the metaverse. It's like, hearing him say that is like, yeah, you're right. And it's still fun to make fun of you. Look, no one got hurt. Go figure, comedians. How is I wrote and played a song for Joe Rogan on JRE, Lex Fridman. Cooler than you, Dan Soder. Jesus, bro.
More difficult. Like
difficult.
The amazing thing here is that the subtleties of the expression.
The subtleties. His S's are tricky. Subtleties. Lisps are all different, I found, and not mocking, but mimicking them. It's just fascinating to me. Sometimes they've sort of created a chamber where they can sort of send their S's. Lex is subtle.
Question.
It's more his cadence, his sort of pentameter. It's sort of interesting how
Of the eyes.
the eyes.
People say I'm monotone and
People say I'm monotone.
emotionless, but I'm not. It's just this.
They can't help this, guys. Don't you think if they could turn on a switch and feel like humans, they would do it?
Of the eyes. People say I'm monotone and emotionless, but I'm not. It's just this. Maybe my expression of emotion is more subtle.
I'm sorry. Stop all. He goes, people say I'm emotionless, but I'm not. Maybe the way that I react is just more subtle. You have to go watch this. I am a pale compare. This is in no way a replacement for the original, and that's not just because of fair use stuff. It literally is. I can only do so much to bring the genuine, organic funny to your screen. Lex and Mark, just genius level comedy.
Usually, like with the eyes, and that's one of the things I've noticed is just how expressive the subtle movement of the corners of the eyes are in terms.
By the way, Lex is talking about how he can tell what other people are feeling. I'll say this. I think it's wonderful that these two can commiserate a little bit. They're like, they also say that I have no emotions, but I do. It infuriates me. Somewhere between Dan Soder's over-emoting, Dan over-emoda soda, and Lex Friedman's total lack of presence. I don't know. Somewhere there's a happy medium. I love that I just criticized the guy for over-emoting.
In terms of displaying
Shut up!
happiness or boredom or all that kind of stuff.
I am curious to see, just 'cause I've never done one of these before. I've never done a podcast as one of these codec avatars. And I'm curious to see what people think of it, because one of the issues that we've had in some of the VR and mixed reality work is it tends to feel a lot more profound when you're in it than the 2D videos capture.
Pretty good self-awareness, because I bet it does feel profound in there. You can kind of see in the looks in their eyes, especially that clip that I showed on the short, which you've probably now seen. They have this kind of look of bewilderment. They're sort of like, they just look really, sort of a childlike wonder in their eyes. So I imagine it feels quite profound. It looks crazy, but I'll say this as somebody who has a Zoom podcast. This technology would have been priceless, invaluable, worth a lot, which for some reason those things are all synonymous. This kind of realism, especially if you can have a background going. I think Meta really screwed the pooch on that one, because if I would have seen this and known oh, I can use this for my other podcast, that I probably would have pushed for us to use Meta. If I would have seen this, I'd have been like, dude, you gotta look at this. Rico, check this out. Oh, I thought your name was Playboline, and I was like, that's a funny pun. I'm not interested in your AI viewers. Is there a do not respond? What do you have the stop calling this number button? Boop. I wish you luck. Payable yell. M6A. Oh! Now I know you're scamming. Oh, shit.
During the experience. So I think that this one, because it's photorealistic, may look kind of as amazing in 2D for people watching it as it feels, I think, to be in it. But we certainly have this this issue where a lot of the other things just, it's like you feel the sense of immersion when you're in it that doesn't quite translate to a 2D screen. But I don't know, I'm curious to see what people think.
Emotions are kind of like that too, huh, Zach? God, I just everything about we're way over our time code stricture on there just because this is fun, dude. 26, 25. How am I still alive? 26, 25. This is funny.
Cheeks and all of that.
Cheeks. Cheeks, cheeks. Critical cheeks. Oh, that's fun. A little double dabber. I've tried to make a hijab, I just don't know how to tie a knot. We're waiting for ads right now. Thank you for your patience. Would you like to hear a song? Woohoo! Cell phones! Buy one today!
Actually no reason why you couldn't do that on an expressive avatar too. I mean, it wouldn't look exactly like you, but I mean, you could make a cartoon version of yourself and still have it be...
That's fun. I would enjoy a cartoon version of me. But also, I think I would enjoy just about any version of me. I did a Dan Soder laugh there. I think people... Oh, yeah, okay, so... He's starting to feel himself a little bit. We're almost half an hour into their little interview, and he's been getting just thickly glazed by this Friedman fella. And so, he starts to make more and more kind of bold statements.
Almost as expressive. But I do think that there's this bridge.
They are, by the way, still talking about emotions. With zero emotion behind it. It's hilarious. It's like watching Grok and Gemini talk. People say I have no feelings.
Between...
Some people like cupcakes better, but I, for one, care less for that.
The current state of most of our interactions in the
Name the song.
Physical world, and where we're getting in the future with this kind of hybrid physical and digital world, where I think it's going to be a lot easier for people to kind of take some of these experiences seriously with the photorealistic avatars to start. And then I'm actually really curious to see where it goes longer term. I could see a world where people stick to the photorealistic and maybe they modify them to make them a little bit more interesting, but maybe fundamentally we like photorealistic things. But I can also see a world that once people get used to the photorealistic avatars and they get used to these experiences, that I actually think that there could be a world where people actually prefer being able to express themselves in kind of ways that aren't so tied to their physical reality. And so
looking back on it, becomes sort of apparent that Mark Zuckerberg modeled his entire brand of genius and life around being social, but not like too social. About being a part of a community, but like at an arm's reach. And what he just said, that it could get so realistic that people prefer Meta to Earth, is insane. But I kind of get it, bro. No, like I understand it. Action Bronson style. I kind of get it, bro. Embarrassing, by the way, Action. So embarrassing that you were the next guy on. Oh boy, did Action Bronson just hitch his horse to the wrong wagon, dog. Because Terrence Howard had just gone on. Action Bronson probably watched that episode to like do his homework for the podcast or whatever. He gets on like a week later-ish, give or take. Action Bronson comes out and Joe is still in Terrence Howard's kind of like spell. Because for people that don't understand math, him talking about Terrence Howard math just sounds like math. It doesn't sound any different to me. It's like, okay, sure, numbers. So for the bottom of the barrel folks who don't know maths, sure, like, it sounded crazy to me, and the idea that the guy who played the antagonist in Big Mama's House is a math genius. But okay, whatever, I didn't really think twice about it. Action Bronson, however, decided that he was going to use his opportunity to look smart. And all the nonsense, I guess, has been proven to be nonsense now. At the time, had not yet been proven to be nonsense. He was like, no, I get it, bro. Like I understand it. Like, I don't know what it is, but it makes sense to me. And Joe was like, oh, okay. And they kind of move on. Cut to, now everyone knows it's absolute bullshit. And Action Bronson has this fucking clip of him floating around out there going, no, dude, like, Terrence Howard actually makes a lot of sense, bro. White guy, by the way. I think. Why am I talking about Action Bronson?
That's one of the things that I'm really curious about. And
oh, him saying that he thinks that meta could become preferable to reality. No, of course that's insane, and I don't agree that that's entirely true, but I do understand where a person would have to be for that to make total sense. It just makes sense to me, bro. Especially if we keep letting these data centers ruin our wetlands. I'm not kidding.
I don't know, in a bunch of our internal experiments on this, one of the things that I thought was psychologically pretty interesting is people have no issues blending photorealistic stuff and not. So, we can have for this specific scene that we're in now, we happen to sort of being in a dark room. I think part of that aesthetic decision, I think, was based on the way you like to do your podcast. But
we have to go back. Sorry.
In that we're in now, we happen to sort of being in a dark room. I think part of that aesthetic decision, I think, was based on the way you like to do your podcast. But we've
Yes.
done experiences like this where you have like a cartoony background, but photorealistic people who you're talking to.
It sounds like it would give me motion sickness, Mr. Zuckerberg.
And we seem to, like, people just seem to just think that that is completely normal, right? It doesn't bother you. It doesn't feel like it's weird. Another thing that
Can you imagine this guy with his little fucking clipboard? And I know it's probably an iPad, but let's call it a clipboard for funsies. He's sitting back there with a bunch of other people who have zero expression on their face. Very interesting. They don't seem to mind that we put them in Looney Tunes. Yes, I imagine that was fascinating to you, Mark.
that we've experienced with is
who I like. I think I don't know. What are you gonna? You gonna hate the billionaires for having billions? You should be mad at different things, my man.
is basically you have a photorealistic avatar that you're talking to.
You know what I mean? Like, you gonna get mad at the people who, I don't know, like, I get it. Trust me, I fucking get it. I'm not, pro-billionaire or anything. It just seems crazy to me that on principle we're not even allowed to examine these people based on the fact that they have, like, all of the money. None of us have any of it. I do, to be clear. And actually, that's why I'm being so sympathetic, because I, too, am an aspiring billionaire. Ah. Oh, it feels so much nicer than my other fan. It smells like success.
Right next to them, you have an expressive kind of cartoon avatar, and that actually is pretty normal too, right? It's like, it's not that weird, right? To basically being interacting with different people in different modes like that. So I'm not sure. I think it'll be an interesting question to what extent these photorealistic avatars are like a key part of just transitioning from being comfortable in the physical world to this kind of new modern real world.
I guess I do kind of get it, because if the refs aren't calling personal fouls and you continue to go personally foul people just because you're not getting called out for it, you're the asshole. I kind of understand that.
World that kind of includes both the digital and physical, or if this is like the...
But that only goes for people who are wantonly breaking the rules, and a lot of them are. probably that's how they get there. I don't know enough about economy, but I do understand the ones who are cheating. It's like, well, fuck you for cheating to win.
The long-term way that it stays.
Excuse me.
That's a. I mean, I think that there are going to be uses for both the expressive and the photorealistic over time. I just don't know what the balance is going to be.
Yeah, it's a really good, interesting philosophical question. But to me, in the short term, the photorealistic is amazing.
Lex loves the photorealistic, by the way. He is very into it. Every time Mark is like, I mean, we could also do other things. Like, the photorealistic thing is just like one aspect of what we're doing here. And Lex is like, but it's the best aspect and the one I would like to focus on the most. It's like, because he loves the idea of being able to project his face, but one that has feelings.
To where I would prefer, like you said, the workroom, but like on a beach with a beer, just to see a buddy of mine remotely on a chair next to.
You want to know I may have a little bit of a problem. I heard beach on a beer, and I was like, yeah, but there's no beer. Beach, friend, sure. What about the beer?
Drinking a beer. I mean, that, as realistic as possible, is an incredible experience. So I don't want any fake hats on him. I don't.
Lex, my man. Go to the beach. What are you talking about? I guess, sure, if you got a friend that lives in Germany, and I'm sure he's got a few. By that. Yeah, I guess if you don't get to see your family very often. Or like when I do my Raspia stuff, every week, every Wednesday, I spend right around 10 hours working with a buddy of mine who lives back up north. And yeah, I could see that being cool, but I mean, not really, because we didn't even fuck with that stuff when, like, Zoom was doing basic versions of it, right? Like, when they were, oh, Lord. When they were, you know, ooh, you could go out in space and stuff. I mean, the playtesters that we work with, they were using it, and it was fun, sure, I guess. So, I can see that there's some appeal there. I personally was just like, I was grinding. Doing game designer stuff. Right, Kurt Metzger?
I don't want to just chilling with a friend, drinking beer, looking at the ocean while not being in the same place together. I mean, that experience is just, it's a fundamentally... that experience is just, it's a fundamentally... it's just a high quality experience, a friendship. Whatever we seek in friendship, it seems to be present there.
Going back to the bald spot cam. You want to see my impression of a gypsy? Sorry. I'm sorry. That just made me so uncomfortable. You know, kind of emotionally uncomfortable. Sad, I think, is what feeling people call it.
It's just, it's a fundamentally, it's just a high quality experience, a friendship. Whatever we seek in friendship, it seems to be present there.
I think he's talking about the hyper-realistic friend on the beach moment. That's like what he seeks in friendship, is just like seeing that he and some other person who look like a person is really there. That's okay. Alright. I guess I don't fully feel like that's an okay way to talk or be or feel. I don't know.
The same kind of realism I'm seeing right now. This is totally...
Who am I to judge what Lex Fridman finds to be friends or feelings?
Game changer. So to me, I can see myself sticking with this for a long time.
Yeah, and I mean, it's novel. and it's also a technological feat, right? It's like being able to pull this off is like it's like a pretty impressive, and I think to some degree it's just this kind of like awesome experience.
Yeah. But I'm already sorry to interrupt. I'm already forgetting that you're not real. Like this is really
I am
it's novel.
Who are you trying to convince, Mark? It jumps to a commercial right there, but we're gonna have to go back for that one, because his insistence. What is the old quote? Thou dost protest too much. We're waiting. There we go. I think this is an actual. Oh, it's ChatGPT. Okay.
It's just
Boy, can you imagine dumping all your resources and time and PR power into Meta, and then everyone else gets huge on ChatGPT? ChatGPT? As, what the hell's the scammer, the anti-scammer's name? I don't remember. Too many names in my head.
To interrupt, I'm already forgetting that you're not real. Like this is really
I am
it's novel.
This is just an avatar version of me, but
sure. I guess your programming dictates you have to respond that way. Lex goes, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm starting to forget that you're not real. And Mark Zuckerberg goes, what? I am real. Okay, what you're seeing is a projected version of me, but I, Mark Zuckerberg, am a human, real person.
That's a deep philosophical question, yes.
But here's some of the. So I put this on this morning, and
stop saying deep philosophical question, Lex. That's like, what do I have? That's insane. That's like what I say. That's insane. It seems to be Lex's. That's insane. That's a deep philosophical question. Truly a fascinating philosophical question.
I was like, all right. It's like, okay, so my hair is a little shorter in this than my physical hair is right now. I probably need to go get a haircut. Sure. And I did happen to shave.
Again, it's so easy. It's the low-hanging fruit to be like, that's weird. That's a weird thing to say. But also, like, I don't know, I kind of get that. You know, if I'm watching Back in Eeks, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that thing. Oh, man, I didn't know that you could this when I that. Then I go when I nip and tuck it. I get some surgeries and the like, I get that. Yeah, it's a good way. Sometimes, I think someone that doesn't really do many things with other humans, I can tell you that although it seems performative to put on your best face and all that, it is actually good for you to do. I strongly suggest it. I've said it for years. If you don't feel your best, look your best. Because it really actually is important to take care of oneself to the best of your capacity. If you were born ugly, that's fine, but look cool. You don't gotta be hot to look cool.
This morning, but if I hadn't, I could still have this photorealistic avatar that is.
But on the other side of it, he's like, well, but if I could have a photorealistic Exvatar, TM, then I wouldn't have to take care of myself, which is just the opposite of what I was trying to promote here, Mark.
That is more cleanly shaven, right? Even if I'm a few days in, physically. So I do think that there are going to start to be these subtle questions that seep in where the avatar is realistic in the sense of this is kind of what you looked like at the time of capture, but it's not necessarily temporally accurate to exactly what you look like in this moment. And I think that they're going to end up being a bunch of questions that come from that over time that I think are going to be fascinating too.
You mean just like the nature of identity of who we are? Are we the people? You know how people do like summer beach body? People will be for the scan. They'll try to lose some weight and look their best and sexiest with the nice hair and everything like that. I mean, it does.
Lex got a little lost in the fantasy there. There was too many things, man. You didn't need all that adjective activity.
The best and sexiest with the nice hair and everything like that.
They got their shoes on, and one of them isn't tied as tightly as the other, but that's just because she's demonstrating personality. And then they get into the car, and it's a little too hot, but they start it, and then the AC starts to kick on, and a single lock cascades from her sweaty forehead off to behind her ear, and she laughs, and her friends laugh, and this is the experience we all seek in friendship.
I mean, it does raise the question.
He's thinking so hard, his face is crunched. Why are you scrunching your face, Lex? He's going. He's just really trying to eke out that thought, emotion, human response to something, and struggling accordingly.
You know, if a lot of people interacting with the digital version of ourselves, who are we really? Are we the entity driving the avatar, or are we the avatar?
Nope.
Well, I mean, I think our physical...
That's a deep philosophical question, Lex.
...bodies also fluctuate and change over time, too, so I think there's a similar question of, like...
They knew how insane this sound... Insane. Now I'm hearing it. I gotta work on me. They know how obtuse this sounds, so they get points for self-awareness, but holy absolute, insert profanity here. It's just the fact that they're sitting here talking about social interactions and emotions and expressions and have done so for the past 31 minutes. They're just the two guys. And the comments, that's the thing, is I have to be kind of careful because I don't want to steal any of the comments jokes incidentally, because this is one of the greatest comment sections I've ever seen. I'm telling you, we're running out of time codes on this. You have to go watch this, bros. My dudes, my AI scam bot ladies, you gotta go watch this fucking video. It's, as 6 months ago, the Zoomers or the Gen Alpha was saying, cinema.
Version of that, are we? Right? There's like the. Yeah. I mean, it's and it's interesting identity.
By the way, King of the Hill, stop trying to be cool. Season 15's kind of hitting their stride, but they still use like dated Instagram language, dated kind of Twitter language. Why are they being so extra? It's like, oh, all right, that's right. Extra was a thing a while back. Like, to stop using topical language. I get that, like, you're trying to portray teens, but, like, some of the other characters are doing it too, and not in a way where my mom was saying booyah, and that's how I knew booyah was dead. not like in a... Anyway, Season 15 is way better than Season 14, and I'll probably put out some kind of material on it accordingly. Because I have already precedented that. We do critiques of animated comedy shows here. We have done it before, so we can do it in the future, which is good. Because I'm starting to get more yucks out of this Lex Fridman shit than I am from the guys who are supposed to be yucking my...
question, because all right, it's like,
yeah, sometimes you got to pull the cord on a sentence.
I don't know, it's like weight fluctuates or things like that. It's like I think most people don't tend to think of themselves as the well, I don't know, it's an interesting psychological question. Maybe some people,
it's actually philosophical.
Maybe a lot of people do think about themselves as the kind of worst version, but I think a lot of people probably think about themselves as the best version, and then it's like what you are on a day-to-day basis doesn't necessarily map to either of those. So I think that
map to either of those. It sounded like he was like mata.
Basis doesn't necessarily map to.
It doesn't necessarily matter
to either of those. So I think that's there will definitely be a bunch of social scientists and folks will have to, and psychologists.
By the way, if you're still watching, then you're one of the good ones, and I am genuinely curious about your input here. What version of me should go to that podcast? You've seen the varying versions, the tickler of ivories and the yeller of obscenities, and everywhere in between. I think I'll probably go on and just, like, have a conversation. It's just interesting, because running a solo show, you get very used to my echo chamber. And, I don't know. Maybe I'll get into an argument. But don't worry, I will put Eek's collab on the YouTube post, so it should pop up in your feed. It might be very boring.
So,
but I'll say that I've gotten to know the creator, Sam Hyde, a little better from, obviously from his shit. Never met the guy. Excuse me, Jim. He would probably think I'm an abomination to God. Fucking weird. He's such a powerful speaker and orator that he kind of pulls you in and you find yourself, like, nodding along. But then, you know what? I'll end up covering it. I've sort of seen through the pale.
It's really, there's going to be a lot to understand about how our perception of ourselves and others is shifted from this.
Okay. Let's find our final time code here. And it's just labeled, why do people hate Lex? And you know what? We're just going to go ahead and jump to these large language models. Because we were enjoying what we were doing so much, we played right through the time code. That's how you know we're on to something. That's the flow, baby. We're having a good time. Was that Dusty Slay? Having a good time.
If you could
I like Dusty.
comment, this might be a bit of a very specific technical question, but Llama 2 is incredible. It's the...
I don't know what Llama 2 is, but what we are going to do now is read these motherfucking comments. I should have gotten like a jabbity boom 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 boom. So pretend I'm doing that the whole time. Too much bass for me. He said the most unrealistic thing about this VR projection is that Lex isn't wearing a suit and tie. Well, that's kind of cute, kind of fun, sort of familiar, isn't it? We're looking for burns here. Lex leaning into Mark and going, and it's not awkward for me to be so close to you. And Mark going, no, it is. And I moved you back. It was a very funny opening. I'm sure that was the clip I showed the shorts earlier. Lex's smile at the beginning of it says it all. He's made it back home. Lex and Mark are the perfect AIs to test this new technology with. Good to see Lex in his native environment. Imagine a podcast where you, the listener, are the third seat at the table and you can convincingly be in the same room as the two people talking. The most shocking part is, wait, you comment thief! Brock Covington, you committed comment thievery. The most shocking part is that Lex is not wearing his iconic suit and tie. Those are the worst types of people. You thought you were going to say it better? You might have thought of it. Parallel thinking, right, comedians? Definitely saving lots of bandwidth on transmitting facial expressions with this pair. When Mark said, quote, I am real, I almost believed it. Oh, God, that's so freaking funny. Mark and Lex are looking more and more lifelike. Great work, engineering team. Oh, my goodness, that absolutely cracks me up. That is a banger of a video. But, as you're probably aware, it is that time again. where we do a reading of the autobiography written by Corey Feldman. Choreography. He named it that. That's the name of the book. Love that. When last we met Corey, he was getting the shit kicked out of him by his dad. His dad kept beating him for eating, I think. He said, you know, I don't want to have to do this, Corey, but I have to. It's the only way you'll learn what's right. He beat the shit out of him with his belt so bad that the buckle hit Corey in the eye. Beat the shit out of him so bad with his belt that the belt broke. And he went over and got another one. And beat the shit out of him some more. Crazy. That's crazy, you know? You look at a guy like Corey Feldman and you read choreography and you can't help but go, yeah. Anyway, Chapter 3. A blanket of early morning dew had settled across the front yard, and tiny blades of grass were sticking to my ankles and the tops of my bare feet. I trudged through the fog, along the winding walkway, and out to the street. The windows of my father's car were all steamed up from the inside. I pulled the sleeve of my shirt over my hand and used it to wipe away the condensation. Cupped my hands together and peered inside. "Dad," I called out, "are you coming in the house now?" Shortly after my brother Eden was born, in the fall of 1979, my father moved out of the room he shared with my mother and started sleeping on the couch. This did nothing to allay their constant fighting, however, which was intensifying and, with increasing frequency, dragging on late into the night. They covered a revolving door of subjects, from the apparently untenable fact that my mother was spending all day, every day, at home, alone, caring for us, while he was out carousing, and the fact that she was pretty sure he was stepping out on her with a sea of different women, including my pretty blonde teacher, Mrs. Hart. After several months on the sofa, my father began sleeping in the car, curled up on top of piles of clothes and shoes and a couple of worn-out old amplifiers. How my parents managed to conceive yet another child amid this chaos is one of the great mysteries of my young life. But by that time, Devin came into the world in January 1981. My father was gone for good. He didn't even show up at the hospital. The divorce threw our family finances into sharp relief. I had been working steadily for more than 5 years, but my parents had no idea how to manage their money. After befriending a real estate agent, they snapped up properties with abandon, then ended up taking out a second and later a third mortgage on our home in Tarzana before eventually losing the house to the bank. My mother, my sister, my new little brother and I piled into her car and moved to a one-story rental in Canoga Park. There was nothing left to show for my success. Just like that, we were back to being broke. This has been a reading of the autobiography written by Corey Feldman. Choreography. Shit keeps getting sadder. Jesus Christ. A little sad music for Corey there. Choreography. Slowly becoming my favorite autobiography written by Corey Feldman. Know what I'm feeling? Not Senator Hinchcliffe today. I'm just not really feeling Senator Hinchcliffe today. Are we feeling Senator Hinchcliffe today? We had to call it early last time. You know what? We need to. We need to do it. I have a different thing planned for the show, so I'm improvising a little bit here, but baby, that's the flow. Rhyming. It makes it seem like I had that planned the whole time. We stopped at 38:13. Oh, we're more than halfway there. Woo! We're doing it. We're doing the Senator. This is theme music. I didn't write it. This is all Senator Hinchcliffe. So as an update, it's not going good for man of the motherfucking people. At all. I'm seeing a vast ocean of X2 minuses. Without exaggeration, this might be the worst thing in the world. Not in comedy, not in writing. Period, bro. This is the Black Plague of stand-up specials. Especially pertinent because I'm thinking it might unfortunately become the new standard. And that would really, 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 really suck. If, this whole half-cocked live for the sake of it being live. I just pray that this does not become the new norm. Just because, Jesus, how much of this can we really realistically handle here? So, without further ado, we're at 38:13 of Senator Hinchcliffe's Man of the People. Let's hear it, Senator.
Is that how do you kill yourself if you're in America?
Go ahead and pause for a sec. Yeah, we're going to need a second take on that. I left Blue Heart playing. By the way, shout out to Bardfox, Bardfox, on YouTube for letting us use their music ad nauseum. Beautiful, talented creators over there. I think you'll find you love them. Jumping! Jesus, Senator Hinchcliffe. That's not how we talk in this house.
Than being told to come back in a couple months for your own suicide and being like, okay.
Right, so he's talking about Canada and how they have like the assisted suicide thing there. All of these are just cursory thoughts. Which seems crazy to me from a Writers Guild writer, who's a professional. He's worked for all the big names, and he's gone after all the big, most famous people in the world. He's friends with the fucking president. Friends with the president. Someday to be colleagues with him. As a future senator, which he's never said before, I'm just predicting. Not in jest. I would write in like 2 or 3 votes for him. Get it?
I'll be here with bells and whistles. How un-American is that? How do you kill yourself if you're an American? You fucking take a dog. It's just over. Like a fucking patriot.
Sure, but doesn't this just feel like a kind of funny guy saying thoughts? Right? Isn't that what we're hearing here? Is just him being like, I don't even think that's how you should kill yourself. You should shoot yourself like a patriot. Even that was funnier. It's more trite contrite, rather.
Like a squawking eagle.
Yeah, eagles chirp, actually. And the squawk, by the way, it's screech. Writers Guild, get your verbs right.
What's my point? My point is, for the past 18 years here, I thought I was living my dreams being a stand-up comedian, and now I've learned that there's a job out there where I could potentially be talking Canadians into killing themselves. Yeah. Let the bodies hit the floor. Yeah.
And he talks about this before. Is this literally all this anti-Canada stuff from the, from the anthem? You guys are too into sports, bro. Don't get me wrong, I was also offended, but they beat the shit out of them. There were 6 fights in the first minute and a half. I don't think I'm exaggerating at all. They literally beat their fucking asses for it. So, even Stevens, bro. Also, that was a full-ass year and a half ago. Remember the, 51st state? That is so damning because it would be easier for a fan of Senator Hinchcliffe like me to make excuses for whatever this is. If I was like, guys, he just was riffing. He was just Casey Rocket, riffing with Eric Griffin style. Who's also cool and funny. It'd be easier for me if I thought he was just doing all this off the cuff. In fact, I'd be like, this was cool. This is cool. I'm glad he posted this. Heralding it as the big Tony Hinchcliffe comedy special was a fucking mistake. It should have just been keeping it casual with Tony. And he's just sitting on the cover of it going, oh, I gotta write that timestamp down. That's gonna be my cover. Gonna be the thumbnail, baby. Anyway, but he's not improvising it. It's clear because he's using material that is underwritten, somehow simultaneously underwritten and also dated as fuck. How is it both old and still bad? I know that's hard for a fan of Senator Hinchcliffe to justify. And in order to make myself feel better, I need to call upon somebody of whom Kurt Metzger is rightfully terrified.
I do.
That's right. It's Satan! Just kidding. But it is, though. Listen.
I just want to go door to door like Hans Landa from...
Door to door, just knocking. I just want to go door to door.
From Inglorious Bastards. Just, hello.
Hello.
Sure is cold out here, and it doesn't seem like it's ever going to get any warmer.
Oh, this is... Satanitor. Get back to me, I can do better. Hinchcliffe. Fantasizing about going door to door in Canada and convincing people to kill themselves.
Sounds like a fucking dream.
Right, but it's kind of nothing right there, just in what you said. You described something which is, as you've taught me, Senator, a setup. But you've done nothing with it. You just got us all turned on. You didn't do nothing, Senator. You tease. I'll give him a point for character consistency because he has been consistently this insufferable the whole time. But he is losing a point for delivery. Because once again, it's just not... I don't like making broad, absolutist statements like this, usually. That's not a joke. That was a thought with a little button on it. Again, this has all just been set up. And at this point, I'm now tired of is it, it's like It's exhausting, and you're going to lose a point for delivery over it. But you've been consistently bad, so character consistency. Eeks, baby.
So that's my least favorite race. The Canadians take the fucking cake right now. And they're farther ahead than anybody.
Okay.
And that's purposeful.
That's purposeful. This one's great.
It's a real thing. But again, we can all be accidentally racist. It happened to me one time. Another time.
That was funny. That's originality point right there all day. Which he's making up for a lot in originality. Not in any kind of way that's going to help him. I mean, it does help him, but not in any kind of way that's going to save him. But he's making up some points in his originality. To be honest, that's really the only thing the special has going for it at all is Senator Hinchcliffe's personality. And those, I assure you, are dismal straits.
Yeah, back when I lived in LA, I was walking up to my apartment building, nighttime.
In that he's us.
And I saw a guy I had never seen before leaning into one of the car windows where all the cars park in front of my building. And as I get closer,
So this is him setting up the fact that he has been accidentally racist once or twice before. Again, point for originality there because we know his lore. Unfortunately, it's gonna lose a point for informative efficiency. Because if you don't know Tony Hinchcliffe very well, and most of the people on Netflix don't, despite what he may believe, if you don't know Senator Hinchcliffe very, very well, then you may or may not have recognized that he's the guy who did the Puerto Rico joke, or he was the Nazi from the Kevin Hart road. You do have to know that about Tony in order for this to be funny. And I think that that's worth losing a point over. I've talked about it in previous episodes, but it's like there's an art to writing a sequel. You need to use all the same parts, but rearrange them in a way that tells a different story. Because if it's too similar, then it's just a remake, it's not a sequel. And if it's not similar enough, then it's just a different storyline. So he's kind of writing a bad sequel by not being like, I don't know if you know this, I'm the Puerto Rico guy. Which would have gotten some, woos or something. He's kind of got his foot in two boats here. Trust me, dude. The people who know this about you, you're not winning us over with having this special. And the people that don't know this about you now think you suck and are bad. Because even the few chuckles that it's gotten from me were based on, again, his acknowledgement of his own lore. It's like, yeah, he has been racist before.
I saw this guy who I'd never seen before. He pops his head out of a window.
We're going to go back to Satan.
And it was a black guy wearing a black hoodie. He took off running, and he got into a silver car being driven by a chubby white chick. That's how I just labeled it in my head. No big deal.
Okay. Man, how have I heard this 3 times? Why have I chosen this life?
I go about my night, everything's fine. I wake up the next morning, and I'm in a group text message with about 10 numbers that I don't have saved. I scroll to the top of this group thread to see what it's about, and the first message says,
a really, really, really long setup. Now, even knowing that there is no actual punchline to this aside, if I'm putting myself objectively in the seat where I'm just listening to a guy I don't know talk, I'm bored. If this is dinner, I'm bored. It's such a disappointment from the good senator.
Says, hey, we all live in the same apartment building, got your numbers from the landlord. Just wanted to let you know someone broke into my car last night. If anybody knows anything or saw anything, let me know. I jumped right into that group text message.
Without skipping a beat, I said.
Yeah. At about 11 p.m. last night, I saw a black guy I'd never seen before run out of that area. He got into a silver car with a chubby white chick.
Got into a silver car with a chubby white chick. That's rules.
Chick. Next message comes in underneath that. LOL, Tony. That's Sean. He's our new neighbor. He's in this group text message. Yeah.
So, big punch. You can't even call that rug pull reliance because it was like a... It's like if you're standing on a rug and a magician walks up to you and is like, what if I were to have pulled that rug? And you're like, oh? And he goes, pretty crazy. And walks away. You didn't even pull the rug, man.
I jumped back in it. By the way, she wasn't chubby. She was thick. Smart, right?
I guess, yeah. Now, if we're at Mitzi's and you're telling this story, good and fun stuff. But, like, again, if I don't have like a drink that is still half full in front of me, this is not a story I'm able to listen to. Especially because he, building up to that moment right there as though it was like, oh, shit, he's in the text messages with you? Gasp. It's like, it's not even... Yeah, I guess I have to cost him a point. We do have something for this. It's called the subversion of expectation, which is pretty pivotal, rudimentary, sort of essential in this whole comedy bit, and there was just nothing there. Now, again, I've heard this 3 times, so no, not even. It doesn't matter. Like, this is just, you did nothing to subvert my expectations. You set it up for so long, I was plenty able to go, well, he's standing right behind me, isn't he? You did a less funny version of he's standing right behind me, isn't he?
Because what's the difference? It's really the same girl, just depends on your perspective. Yeah. I'm saying it, ladies. If you're chubby and you're taking part in crimes or have a bad attitude, you're chubby.
You fucked that up too. Use the same word 2 times, right the fuck in a row. If you're chubby and you commit crimes, you're chubby. Yeah, okay. So is what now gonna go, oh, if you're chubby, but you're nice, you're thick. Okay. It's just poorly written. You, Writers Guild, should know that. Why are you repeating words? It's literally probably has the most synonyms is the word big. I Google it, but I imagine it's right up there with the most synonymized.
But if you're chubby and you're fun and positive and you can keep a secret,
What? Why are you all applauding this? Because it's the closest thing to a joke we've heard in an hour?
you're thick. So I go,
I mean, again, I gotta hit you. Shit, is this another structural repetition? If you think I'm gay, you're gay. Kind of. It's I can't say it's structurally the same. Tonally, it's identical. It's like, if you're fat and you're cool, you're thick. Like, it's pretty much, but it's not an I am rubber, you are glue. So, okay, fine. I think I am going to hit you with another. Well, you know what? No, he deserves it. He's fucked up twice. He deserves 2 demerits. I can't just be, well, we hit him with a demerit for the last thing he did. You commit the crime, you're doing the time, Senator.
She isn't chubby.
Until you're a senator, at which point, don't worry about
it. She's thick. Next message comes in. Ha 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 ha. That's his girlfriend. She lives with him. She's in this group text message.
That's structural repetition. Because, again, if you're telling a story, and within this story there are jokes. Then the last thing you said was a joke, and now this thing you're saying is a joke, and they're the same thing structurally. I said all this stuff. I didn't know the person was listening. The person's in the chat. Then he goes on to say, I said all this stuff. I didn't know the person was listening. The person is in the chat. That is textbook structural repetition, which, I hate to tell you, Senator, is an X2 minus.
Let's go, Kennedy.
You really cannot afford
anyone help me move?
Some specials I'm finding would literally just be better if they stopped in the middle of a sentence. You're gonna get a higher EQ score. I'll at least hit you with a subversion of expectation point, baby. You've earned it at that point. Just, good God. Because he's only going to continue to bury himself. This is my whole theory. My entire point about these very, very famous podcaster comedians. Dude, stop putting out specials. Because you've been focusing on your podcasts. In best case scenario, fans of you already are going to hear it and go, yeah, was good at comedy. Cool. I figured. I always assumed he was good at comedy. He's a 25-year veteran. Of course he's good at comedy. More likely, on average, more common is I go, I think this guy's funny. And then I watch his comedy special and I go, actually, this dude's kind of a hack and I hate him now. And it has been that dramatic before. I used to watch The Solid Show because I thought Asan was good. And I watched his special and was like, I'm not really into Derek Poston and Asan. Asan's special was so bad I don't like Derek Poston anymore. A lot of dead air, Senator.
Everything was fine. That was it. A couple weeks later, the same group thread comes alive again, out of nowhere, when somebody goes, Tony, you don't have to move. It turns out it was Sean. He does a thing where he moves into new...
Okay. Again, that's supposed to be some kind of like subversion of expectation, but you didn't put enough tension for us to be asking the right questions so that when you resolve this subversion of expectation, or when our expectations are subverted, we go, whoa, you didn't give us enough to believe. You know, like we didn't hear enough about this story to go, oh, I have a theory. I think it's this. Oh my God, it's not that. There was no expectations to subvert. You just said things, and then some more things got said. Like, I don't...
New apartment complexes, steals from around those buildings, and then moves on to another one. His girlfriend was in on it with him.
And guess what?
Switch to all capital letters. I fucking knew it.
Tony, that right there was your chance for a punchline. Just making, I fucking knew it, is not, like... I think the problem that he's running into is that personality clash thing I've been talking about. It was originally Mike David's theory, which was Tony moved to Austin, and instead of being like little Twinkie Tony... This is the new action figure coming from Critical Leaks. Twinkie Tony. Senator Twinkie Tony. Rather than being like Twinkie Tony, he kind of needed to change his personality, so he grew himself a little gut, and he walks around like a boss. He has a belt buckle he didn't earn. He's just like... He's pretending to be Ron White. Unfortunately, as adept a writer as he is... his writing voice and his performance voice not only don't go together well, they conflict entirely. So I think if you look at this on the page, this could be funny, delivered in the right way, where it's like, I switched to all caps, then I'm like, I fucking knew she was chubby. I was, oh, funny, that's a joke. Like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you could be like, I fucking knew it, and kind of, you know, tag it up or whatever you comedians call it. But for you to waste this anticipation on filler, now we don't care about the lines that come after this. Now I'm not, oh, well, what's he really going to say? Oh, well, that was the moment for the punch, dude. And you're kind of like, I'm going to try to punch you.
And she wasn't thick, she wasn't chubby, she was fat.
You can combine the two things you said into one succinct statement that's at least a punchline. You know, I'm not saying it was anything to write home about, but then at least I wouldn't be embarrassed to be a fan of yours, man. You complain about how no one goes to bat for you, bro. I go to bat for you all the time, and this is how you repay me. What am I to do, Senator, other than vote for you in the fall?
Yeah. And then the next message came in underneath that. It just said, haha, just kidding, man. This is Sean.
Again, we had no expectations for you to subvert. This whole story has been unreliable narrator as fuck, and not in a fun way. It's just been like, I don't believe you. I think you're going to say this thing, and then right after you're going to say the opposite. If you think I'm gay, you're gay. Has been the theme of this entire fucking special. Man, I wish I liked this more. By the way, how'd you like me playing the Blink-182 song, Wendy Clear, which didn't have to be so bad? Didn't have to be so bad, which didn't have to be so bad. I do. I wish this was better. God damn it.
So now we're all friends. Another one of my cool black friends that I hang out with. You have black friends? What's one of their names?
I hate to do this to you, Senator. You're really breaking my heart here, but I have to hit you with a bad crowd work. You didn't even nail your question, dude. Is there black people? Do you know what are the black people's that you know's names?
Sean. Wow, perfect.
Yeah, this keeps working out great. It's almost like relying on improvised racial stereotypes isn't a solid model for a comedy special on Netflix. Huh.
Deshaun. Now I believe you. See how easy that is?
You see how that paid off, best case scenario, and it's still just shoulders, dude? I think that's a Tom Segura thing. It's all shoulders. Oh.
Jasmine, what kind of guys are you?
Mostly stories, Tom Segura, not Two Bears, One Cave, Tom Segura, who you all love.
What are you into? Are you single? You are? What's your type?
We're having another phone conversation. Oh, are you single? You are? What's your type? Oh, that's a funny answer. So, what are you up to? We can't hear them, Senator. Not even Senator. Netflix. How in the fuck were you like, yeah, this clears. This totally tracks. This is exactly what we were hoping to pay you a shit ton of thousands of dollars for, and then put on our platform and promote the shit out of it. This actually nailed it. How did Netflix not go like, look, we have something called the EEC scale that we use, and this bitch is dismal. Take another swing, Senator.
Medium ugly with beard? What the fuck does that mean?
Funny stuff.
Medium ugly? Medium ugly with a beard? You're kind of... I've never heard anyone in my life say that they're into someone kind of ugly. You're into kind of ugly guys.
This is bar talk, Tony. This is you going, oh, did you hear this? She's into ugly guys with a beard. Half ugly? What was it? Isn't that crazy? This is not Netflix comedy special. We paid you a bunch of thousands of dollars for your comedy special to go on to Netflix so we could promote it for everybody. Comedy material stuff.
With a beard.
IMO.
Unbelievable, Jasmine. When you say medium.
Not even my opinion. In the opinion of the Eek scale, I am ES. I mess.
Ugly guys. Like, what if it was a good-looking guy with a beard? You'd be like, fuck that.
Oh, Tony, our standards are low, learnedly. Learnedly low standards, Tone. But I do love what you go on to do here and embarrass everybody.
Really like kind of ugly guys. That's fucking crazy.
Not that crazy.
The creep next to you is hard as a rock right now. It's unbelievable.
The creep is this kid. Who rules?
This guy, he doesn't have a beard. That fucking guy will take his pubes and glue them on his face.
So usually people just laugh along so the comedian leaves him alone. But this guy, unyieldingly, is like this. It takes effort. My face is a little tired from having just made that face for a little too long. His commitment to this bit far exceeds Senator Hinchcliffe's.
He doesn't give a fuck about.
He is way more convinced, or he is way more. He has way more conviction to be funny in your comedy special than you do, Senator. And that much is clear.
Come on, Jasmine! Let me eat your pussy, Jasmine! Jesus fucking Christ.
This guy's still just looking at him. And when Tony addresses him directly, he just goes. It's a stellar impression of that kid.
Right. Well, Jazz.
I'm proud of that. It's a good Bad Bunny. Decent Lex Friedman. Really good King of Reddit.
Jasmine, I mean, hello.
I mean, he has to be on there, right? You know what? Fuck it. We're going to look it up. I got to get a break from Satan anyway. Sorry, the Senator anyway. Tony Hinchcliffe special. I don't really know how to use Reddit. Admittedly. I'm just searching in there, and this is the AI for Reddit. Oh, shit. This account has been permanently banned. Senator. I was literally just clicking see more from the AI. The general consensus is most commenters found this special was very poor and embarrassing. It, quote, this was Brendan Schaub level bad. Maybe worse. I don't know how to find anything about this guy. So, maybe he is the sort of de facto king of the Redditors?
What do we think over here?
You guys, we have IRS in real special. We have like 10, 11, 12 minutes left. We got this! It's us against the world, Eeksman.
And he's got his cerebral palsy child with him. This is incredible. Quite the duo. Have you ever been with a black woman before, sir? Yeah, it looks...
Good God.
Looks like you haven't.
You haven't been with a black woman before, sir? It looks like you haven't. Okay.
Hell yeah. Wow. Is there a reason why?
That's so long. You can't go that long without saying anything. Wait, let's do them after wow.
Hell yeah. Wow. Is there a reason why?
That is 3.5, and I'm counting, solid seconds of silence. And I don't mean like letting the crowd laugh. I mean, it just feels like I'm just kicking him when he's down here, man. That's really bad.
You haven't been with a black woman before? It's just coincidence.
But, like, okay, you know, with any modicum of objectivity, you can determine that that was bad crowd work and that no one is laughing. He didn't know what to say, and so he was quiet. The entire room was quiet for 3.5 seconds mid-crowd work. Bro, pull up. He's just gaining more and more momentum as he fucking plummets downward. And unfortunately, he is headed for a deep canyon because he's going to go even lower than we thought he could go. I didn't know that. We are stress testing the EEC scale with this one, my friends.
Huh? You
Carisco.
got no game. She's probably wet as fuck right now. Dude, I've never seen somebody quite as medium ugly with a beard as the guy that I'm looking at right now. Now, what would your first move be in the bedroom with a woman like Jasmine, other than hiding the white sheets that you have your clan outfit made out of? Oh, fuck. I can throw it under the bed.
The white sheets that you have your clan outfit made out of. Like, how... What do they call that? Economy of words? You are breaking the economy, Tony. Senator. Fuck, this is crazy. How, if you were like hiding the sheets that you make for your clan, did you use for your clan outfit? Is that what you would have to hide?
This guy's under the bed taking it, helping you for some reason.
For some reason. This is your Monopoly guy, asshole.
How do you...
Senator.
You two know each other. This is one of the weirdest fucking duos I've ever seen. What vape shop do you guys run together exactly?
Alright, I do have to take a quick piddle. And also I need to grab my charger. So I'm going to leave you with some Blue Harp. And I'll BRB. BR Barp. Okay, home stretch, Eaksman. We're on the friggin' home stretch now. Woo, I'm looking forward to having scored this utter abomination.
Do you guys really run a vape store? No. Used to sell him weed. Okay. Fuck yeah, and he's literally, the guy just did the thing from my joke about white guys. So like, oh yeah, dude. Oh,
shit, dude.
Shot it on her tits, dude. I shot it on her tits. Jesus Christ. What would your first move with Jasmine be? What is that? Hide the clan hood?
That's repeating, but it's not structural. So, as much as I would love to, we can't hit him with another one.
So that I already said it. What was it? What did I say? You'd suck on her tits? Wow.
I hate that we can't hear them, dude. Like, I can't hit him with another one. I have to. This is bad fucking crowd work. This is a high-level production. If you didn't get it in the first one, Tone, you fucking shouldn't... You shouldn't put this one out. You should have done a second version of this. This is so bad it's making me hack. Stop making me repeat myself, dog. I know.
Didn't realize that.
Senator. I know. You've already apologized. Well, told me to fuck off, but I took it as an apology.
I'm talking to the world's largest 7-year-old boy, everybody.
Shocker. Tony doesn't like tits.
I'd suck on her tits, Tony.
Yeah, the right answer is to rub on her shaft.
What a romantic man.
You asked him what his... You're just going to make fun of this guy now? He was vulnerable with you, Senator. This is not how you curry voters, dude.
Tony, number one answer, suck on her tits. Ding. Welcome to Retarded Family Feud.
Really, really bad. But he thinks he gets credit because he threw the R word in there. Ooh, ooh. You said that one word that people have kind of given up on defending. I love that those same people, by the way, will say, you can't say the R word. We call people autistic. A far more specific and disenfranchised people, rather than just a broad term for being slow and dumb. Now, we're targeting people, and that's okay, because you didn't say the R word, which my Instagram told me you're not allowed to say anymore.
Survey.
Way more damaging.
They said?
Oh, you're acting dumb and antisocial. You're autistic. But don't say retarded.
Suck on her tits.
Oh, I said it. I get Austin points.
Number one answer.
Feels good, Senator.
Hell yes. This is a fucking party in here tonight. I like it like this.
We're going back to Satan. Oh, this is going to be weird. That's like what would happen if you were being cheered for and then got hit in the head in a movie. It would go.
Look, I'm just a wild little American boy. That's all I am. That's all I am.
Numbot.
So, what have we covered? We've made fun of blacks, Latinos, the whites, the Indians, Asians, thank you.
You ran out of your own list. Excuse me, would you? This makes me sick, bro. Really, I am sorry for that.
I'd imagine
I'm not Sam Hyde.
if I were sitting with...
That's right, I burp into the mic and I don't say excuse me because I don't waste my time with that abomination shit.
Where you were right.
I think it's a portal to hell to say excuse me.
Right now, if I bought a ticket to a Tony Hinchcliffe show, I'd probably...
We all get a little... Yeah, once we're going, it'd be hard to hit the brakes.
Probably thinking to myself, Tony...
Let's be giving you a lot of the benefit of the doubt, S.H.
Where are those Jew jokes?
This is what people like Redact are talking about. He's too... nice to have used this to make his point. So he could be on the high road. He's too nice to use this to make his point. But this whole, like, the Austin comedy scene is just a bunch of racists all hoping to hear racist jokes. And then you play Senator Hinchcliffe going, where are all the Jew jokes? And everyone goes, yeah! That's the clip. That's your clip, Redact. Oh, God. I've critiqued you so hard I'm becoming you.
Well,
I wish.
Well.
Get those sweet, sweet kid ad bucks. I'll bleep the word ass so that my material can go out to children. I have to get my AdSense. You wouldn't want me to be demonetized, would you? Why are we supposed to care about that? Why is it our responsibility to just placate you because you won't go after the platform that is censoring you? You guys gave up on fighting censorship, now you just do it? Fuck you guys. Redact. We're getting you next time, Redact. You've been going too long without a good tongue lashing from old Jippo. I can't have that.
Averaging about 4 specials a year.
He's just, I think we hurt his feelings. He's gone. Nah, he's not gone, but he's just like, he spends a lot of time behind his paywall. Almost like an Austin echo chamber in the comedy mothership that you've created for yourself. Maybe that's why you're such a fucking hack.
A year with Netflix right
why am I being mean to Redact right now?
And I'm not in the mood to make Jew jokes anymore.
Curtin Metzger gets it. It's genuinely terrible.
But they should settle down a little bit, right? Settle it already with Palestine. I mean, my God, right? Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors.
Would have been way funnier if you said rock, paper, scissors, best out of 3. Because best out of 3 was like, what are you talking about? 2 different wars that they've had? And you do one. It's funny, but it's backwards. You've done it the wrong way. Wrong way.
You know, Palestine's gonna throw rock every time. You also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying?
This looks like some kind of... Yeah, we'll skip over this.
Hi, I'm Sammy.
Hi, Sammy. Let's see what Sammy the robot has to say.
Nice to meet you. Want one? No, I'm good. Those are actually my favorite ones. I eat those like every day. What's this?
Cold fresh. That's how we get the flavor. More. That's how we get the flavor. More. Come on, more.
Well, I have good news. Like, 2 of the 10 remaining minutes are that shit.
Then it hits you.
Boy, you got a whole bunch of this shit in there, don't you, Senator?
Ally.
That's like 5 straight minutes of commercials.
Look, it's a tricky subject. It's a tricky subject. Look at this fucking bundle of cord we have here. What have I done?
He just keeps walking in a circle, and so his cord twists 1 full rotation every single time he walks in his tiny little Tony circle. And it just builds like a rat's nest of cord, which is terrible for the fucking cord. He doesn't care. None of these comedians give a shit about the effect they're having on the equipment. It drives me crazy. It's like Ryan Long. He'll grab the mic way down here and just like bend the shit out of the cord. It bothers me every time. I would interrupt somebody if this was my microphone. If I was putting on a fucking like, you know, open mic of some kind and someone grabs the mic like this, I'd be like, hey! Higher. You cannot break my shit. You're Ryan Long, not Chris Rock. Ryan Long sketches are really funny. Though I'll say he now has this podcast where he's like defending some of his old, more controversial sketches of the like, oh, the left and the right are the same, and they're funny. But it's like his straw man argument that he's like, one commenter said this to me. Can you even believe that? Because what it is clearly satire. It's like, stop. I explain your jokes. You don't explain your jokes. Okay? It's more of an eeks thing. Eeks. Branding. I'm sorry, there's so much dead air I have to vamp. Senator, why are you killing so much time? So from 50 seconds, or excuse me, from 33 seconds.
This is what happens. You start.
That was 9 full seconds of nothing while a few people chuckled in the audience. This isn't pausing for laughter tone. This is you trying to kill time so you can think of a thing to say that will lead you to your closing joke, right? Isn't it kind of?
Start making fun.
Exactly that.
Fun of the Jews. The chord starts wrapping up, and it's
So no, there's 5 solid seconds of nothing.
Audio gave out when you started talking about the Jews. Yeah, it turns out the cord bundled up, and
yeah, it's definitely.
Now, I absolutely love the Jews. Some of my best friends, a lot of my best friends, actually. Yeah, my agent, my manager, my business manager.
Wait a minute. So is the joke that he's making that Jewish people have roles in the entertainment industry? What? You can joke about this? I don't think you're allowed to joke about this, Tony. Quit being James Donald Forbes McCann. Quit telling us what you're about to say is so edgy. I've set up the bounds of I can't make these jokes, but now I'm making the jokes about him, so I'm edgy, right? Edgy by the standards you've contrived. Sure, Tony. I can't make jokes about the Jews. Here's a harmless Jewish joke, and another harmless Jewish joke, based on a well-known, well-explored, frankly hackneyed premise and stereotype. Get it? I am a genius.
My favorite banker.
You've made me bitter, Senator. I'm bitter. Can you tell? Oh God. Okay. There's 4 minutes left. We got this, and then I will be doing a musical performance of a song on piano.
My bagel maker. No, I love them. Smart people, family-oriented, great sense of humor, some of the best comedians of all time. Jews, amazing, great people.
Who's he doing? He's kind of doing Trump, isn't he? Great people.
But
some of the best comedians of all time, Jews.
But I'm also a Kanye West fan, and of his music.
You know, and if Mike decides to go out now, I wouldn't blame him based on the fact that he wrote his own perfect happy ending. His cover of Kanye's song got acknowledged by Kanye, and he got invited to go meet with Kanye and turned it down based on his own principles. The ultimate chef's kiss if you follow that story. I hope very much. That's cope, frankly. I hope that he's healing up, coming back. I hope he's fine. I hope he's just been taking some time off because like shit got kind of. Now that shit's moving on, he can come back and be the guy. But for Cope's sake, he did have kind of the ultimate like happy ending. I'd love a sequel, but that story is legend, dude. All of it. What a fucking hero.
I've been a Kanye fan for about 3 decades now. It gets a little bit.
And I'm not talking like Senator Hinchcliffe here.
A little bit hard.
You want to talk about people I look up to.
Harder every month, but we're hanging in there. I still listen to him all the time, but now I do it with my windows rolled up.
Coward!
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kidding. I get it.
Kanye said that the Jews run show business and
sort of thematically repeating, aren't we?
All of his bank accounts were frozen the next day, so he must have been wrong. When Kanye said the Jews run.
She's just gonna end. Okay.
Run show business. The first thing I did, called up my big agent, lives in LA, Esther Steinberg. I called her up. I go, Esther, is this true that the Jews run show business? She's like, let me call your manager, Goldie Goldbaum. I'll get right back to you.
It's not really structural repetition. It kind of is. I called my agent. This clearly Hebrew name, and then I called my manager, and this is the Hebrew name. If he does it a third time, then it's just a joke, but otherwise it's a structural repetition.
They didn't call me back that day, which is crazy because they're the best team in all of show business, and odd for them to not call back. But look, I love Kanye, and I love the Jews. I love them both. And in fact, I think that
I'm hitting him with another delivery point. Why does it feel like he's in a bad way making this up as he goes along? And if I were to, even when you're reading, if you keep fucking up a little word here and there, fine. But if it's a few times per sentence, we're not listening to what you're reading. We're watching you try to read the thing. And that is what's happening with these jokes. We're not listening to his jokes. We're watching him try to tell a joke. And it was, I mean, did you ever, or would you ever, I guess, has it ever happened where you...
Alright. This is a little game I invented. It's called Kanye or the Jews.
I accidentally skipped some shit. We'll go back a little.
Love them both.
He loves them both, okay.
And, in fact, I think they're more alike than we all think. You guys want to play a game? Alright. This is a little game I invented. It's called Kanye or the Jews. This is when I say a famous...
This is kind of original. We'll give him a point for originality. He's earned it. You ever heard someone do this type of bit even? Let's play Kanye or the Jews. Like, it's fun. I doubt he delivers, but conceptually it's original.
This line that one of them is famous for saying, and you get to guess out loud at this part. Who's famous for...
By the way, if you're still listening to this, you absolutely fucking rule. We are a niche brand of people, we Eeksmen. But I've had a lot of fun today, and I hope you have too.
For saying that, is it Kanye or the Jews? You guys want to play? Alright, here we go. Round one. Kanye or the Jews? Wait till I get my money right. It's both on that one. Turns out they both love having their money.
Why wouldn't you do the both third? I just, as far as the most basic approach to this being a joke, it should go, that one was actually the Jews. What about Kanye? Okay, what about I gotta get my money right? No, that's actually both of them. Rule of threes, like it's the hack for a reason, right?
Funny, exactly.
Because it's not just in comedy, it's just three. The rule of threes abides, bro.
Exactly correct.
Rule of threes.
Let's go round two. Kanye or the Jews? That shit cray. Ain't it, Jay? What'd she order? Gefilte fish fillet? Jews, very good. The gefilte is a dead giveaway on that one. It's a fish in a jar that only they eat. Alright, let's do round three. Kanye or the Jews? Jesus walks to the top of that hill because we are going to crucify him.
Yeah, you got it. Oh boy.
Very good. Yes, indeed, folks. It is the Jews. They murdered Jesus and they laugh about it when we're not around.
Excuse me, Michelle.
It's true. When the whites and the blacks and everyone else leaves the room and it's just the Jews they pick on us, they fuck. I'm kidding. About it all. God damn it. Guys, if the Jews really ran show business, do you think they just let me stand up here and joke about it like this? That's crazy. crazy.
So the lights turned off. Let me explain to you why that frustrates the shit out of me, because you're using production aspects. You're using the venue itself to help you tell your jokes, to help you make this special great, right? Make comedy specials great again. You're using the venue. So you had the foresight to literally use the light guy as your punchline. Okay, I don't love it, but fine, cool. Where that's frustrating is that why didn't that part of your brain go, you know what else we should do, production-wise, to add to how funny this is? Mike, the fucking audience, bro. You were like, let's use the lights, but not the mics. I don't know, Senator. What do I even get you with here? I almost want to, like, give you originality, but in a bad way. It's original. You know what? As much as I hate what it represents in the special itself, objectively, it's clever. Sort of avant-garde. You know, he's taking the traditional medium and he's bending it in his own way so that it's as funny as he finds it could be. Why he didn't spend this time writing a joke, I swear to God, I'll never know. I don't know why. I've theorized why I think he did it this way over the last 9 hours of coverage of this. What the actual screaming, howling, dismal fuck, bro. And we're going to let him finish it out in our favorite version of him, Satan.
Fuck yeah. Guys, I love you. I love you so much. You guys are the shit. This is so much fun. Thank you for being part of a historical night of my life. I fucking love you guys. God bless this audience.
Fuck you.
And God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Sorry, but the voice is crazy. And God bless the United States of America. USA. 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 This has been Man of the People by Senator Tony Hinchcliffe. Woo! We're to the end now, bros. Let's count up his score real quick. Here. Okay. Right out of the gate, during the introduction section, we hit him for 2 demerits for his informative efficiency lacking immensely. Sets tone, we didn't give him anything. Transitions, there were none. There was nothing to transition to. Crescendo, we hit him with a -1. He just, because again, this was all monotone. This was just a flat line. There were no peaks, there were no valleys, there was just Senator Hinchcliffe. That said, about halfway through the special, he made a joke from the beginning, or he called back to a joke at the beginning of the special, and so very charitably, we did give him a point for that, an Act 2 callback to Act 1. I don't believe this was broken in to any kind of cohesive act structure, but because time-wise he was in Act 2-ish, he called back to something he said during Act 1-ish, he gets a point. That is an X2+, for those of you keeping track at home. Character consistency. Now, he does come up on this one a little bit. It's an X2+, and he has 2 points. So the good senator is doing great right now. Still a totally positive score. And then we hit crowd work, which is an X2-. Not good for the senator. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 demerits, which are X2 minuses. 9 demerits for bad crowd work. Yikes. But callbacks for a joke fidelity, just, when you make a joke and you kind of tag it up, you go a couple jokes later and you call back to it. He did make up some points there. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them for his callbacks, which is good because he needs it. Because delivery, he lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's painful. However, it was a very original, albeit terribly written, but ow, motherfucker, ow. Keep fucking bumping shit today. Clumsy, yeah, clumsy eeks. For originality, he gained 1, 2, 3, 4. I go back to 3, 2, and then 4, 5, 6. He gained a total of 6 points through originality. Ow, motherfucker. Rug pull reliance. He lost 1 point. Again, he'd have gotten hit with more of them, but they just didn't. It wasn't an attempt to actually pull the rug. It was just the magician who was implying that he might. Structural repetition. He got hit hard. That's 3 minus. He got 3 demerits, but those are X2 minuses. So he lost 6 points there. Ugh. Subversion of expectation. He lost a total of 2 points. Wordplay, he lost 2, but then gained 2, so a total of 0. Audio fidelity, he did lose a point on that. So total, we've got, let's see, -1. Then we go up to +3. Then we go down to -15. And then we go up to -9. And then we go down to -17. Then up to -11. Then down to -12. Then down to -18. Then down to -20. Then down to his final score of -21. Oh my fucking god, dude. Sucks. -21, a total of no one will ever be worse than that. I want to say False God's got like a -3. Gringo Poppy got a -6. All-time lowest score of -21. I challenge you to make a special that's worse than this. Oh, gosh, that's painful. Senator Hinchcliffe. Oh, dang it. I should have made a friggin' copy. Well, we'll cross that boat when we get to it, or whatever. For now, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of pause music on a waiting screen while I go gargle some water and get ready for a musical performance by none other than Jippo. Me, to be clear. Had a great time today, my friends. I've been thinking these thoughts, they ain't mine. I've been running in place for quite some time, but I know that I'm low, but I'll find myself, and I know that I'm guilty, 'cause I created my own personal hell, and I feel like the only pair of headlights on my road. But I know that I'll make it out. I just was afraid of spiders and snipes. Truly I was daunted as the world all fell to pieces. I just rested upon my laurels. Through the fog did I then see a light. Oh, my mind was haunted, and I said to myself underneath my breath, I guess it's Fox against the world. I guess it's Fox against the world. That I love, have I this to say? Without you, I'd not be who I am today, But I know that it's trivial, but you see, I love you all. And I know that I'm lucky, 'cause with friends like mine, I said it's much harder to fall, and I feel like the only pair of headlights on my road. But I know that I like it that way. I just do. Not afraid of spiders nor snipes, for I am undaunted. Let the fucking world all fall to pieces. I'll stand right here upon my laurels. Through the fog do I now see a light, although my mind is haunted. And I say to myself with a smile on my face, I guess it's Fox against the world. Spiders nor snipes, for I am undaunted. Let the world all fall to pieces. I'll stand right here upon my laurels. Through the fog do I now see a light, although my mind is haunted. And I say to myself with a smile on my face, I guess it's Fox against the world. Yes, it's Fox against the world. Love you all. Thanks for hanging out. Had a great time per usual. I'm the one called Jippo, the one called Druid. This has been Critical Leaks. And in the meantime, be nice.